Pathra punch!
Hey guys, it's Pathra, and in this video I'm going to talk about Hearthstone Battlegrounds, specifically the latest Hearthstone tweet that happened the other day. So Hearthstone came out with a tweet and it says, "Heads up, a new Battlegrounds season is around the corner. We'll be resetting all players' Battlegrounds rating to 0 early next week to level the playing field for new content update." First off, I'm gonna say that this tweet is a little bit misleading to casual or new players, and I know because even when I read it, I was a little confused. It's pretty vague, right? What I thought was, oh, we're all gonna start from 0. Is this actually a reset? And we're all gonna start fair and square and all climb together. But this is not really what they mean at all. And this is because 3 months ago, they made a similar tweet talking about a reset. And when that reset actually happened, it wasn't a reset at all. So let's actually Google the word reset, guys. What does reset mean to you? So Google says that reset means set again or differently. So are we setting our MMR rating once again for Battlegrounds with this reset? No, we're not. What Blizzard failed to tell us, because the tweet is quite vague, they should dive into more detail and tell us that there's actually a hidden MMR, which is called internal MMR. It is actually a soft reset, so even though they are planning to start us from 0, we will, just like 3 months ago for this past season, we had the same thing. We will be boosted with 300 MMR per first win, all the way basically back to our current rank. It's not really setting my MMR rank again. I am basically going back to my old rank eventually with a fancy boosting system. So this is exactly what happened to me before the first soft reset. I had reached 8,000 MMR, and once the soft reset happened, I got boosted 300 MMR for every first win, all the way up to 7,000 MMR. And then from 7,000 MMR for every first win, I got 100 MMR. So there was a little bit of that grind from 7,000 MMR to 8,000 MMR to go back to my previous old MMR. And then since that's the same season that we're in right now, I actually climbed to 9.5k MMR. And so I'm guessing with this second soft reset, they're going to boost me for every first win 300 MMR all the way back to 8.5. And then after that, 100 MMR all the way to 9.5 to where I am. And then I can continue my climb back from where I actually originally was. So yeah, Blizzard did say that they will be doing this reset every 3 to 4 months, and they're staying true to that. That's exactly what they're doing. It's kind of like how Overwatch and Valorant also has a seasonal reset. But in their tweet, I just don't really like how they use the word reset, because we already established and we looked up the meaning of reset that you're setting a new rank, and that's not exactly what we're doing. That they don't mention that they're basing our rank for the next season off our previous rank. And they also use the word fair playing field for everyone in their tweet, and I didn't really like that because my climb isn't going to be the same climb as someone who is 14k MMR or someone who is 6k MMR last season. Let's say you're a new Battlegrounds player and you came across that Hearthstone tweet. You're probably thinking, wow, a reset and we're all starting from 0. I've been watching so many high MMR players live streaming, and now I get to test my skills with their skills, and let's see who makes it to the top first. Well, my dude, that's not going to be happening, because they're going to be way far ahead of you, getting that 300 boost back to their previous rank from the previous season, and you're going to be left in the dust with whatever rank you had the previous season since you're new. Or if you literally have no rank at all and you're starting, you're probably going to have a much slower grind than they do. So I've been told by a couple of people in my community that when, like this season, when that happened to them and they saw all the high MMR people just fly past them and they had the slow grind since they were like lower MMR, and they're casuals who don't play and grind every single day. They don't have that time to do that. They basically got bored of it and just stopped playing, because they're like, what's the point? I'm never going to reach those high levels like them, and to them it feels unfair. I kind of feel bad for the casual players that if they think that way, and that's terrible for the game, right? We don't want casual players to feel like that. Because technically, the soft resets favor people who play Battlegrounds every day, which are streamers or hardcore Battleground players, not the casual players. I wanted to talk about something that happened back in the day when I played Constructed. There was an event that people played in. It was called the Rat Race, and what it was a race to legend, and it was made by Brian Cortade, aka the Rat, and anyone could play in it. You could be a streamer, you could just be like an ordinary casual player, and you just sign up and you're in. And a lot of people had so much fun with it because they wanted to test their skills against some of the biggest streamers, and they thought, you know, I could probably beat them to legend. And it was a lot of fun and people made good content out of it. So the reason why I bring this up is because you can't even do that with Battlegrounds. There's casual players out there who just can't race or ever probably be in the same lobby as their favorite Twitch streamers because they're just different internal MMRs. And yeah, I'm just bringing that up because I think that was a really fun thing to have when we actually got a hard reset every month for ladder. With Battlegrounds, there is no legendary mark, no legendary area, and it's just a bunch of numbers from 0 to some unlimited high number, whatever people can reach with their time. And there's actually no championship for Battlegrounds. If you're one of the top Battleground players on the leaderboard, there is no special event that you're going to be invited to become the champion of Battlegrounds for that year. Just like, you know, Constructed has. Constructed has that, Battlegrounds doesn't. So with that being said, there are no pro Battleground players because there is no like competitive scene really, and all the events are for fun with some cash thrown into it. And let's be honest, all the big events, like you have to be invited by Blizzard, and they invite like all the big streamers, and it doesn't matter what their MMR is. They don't really care much about that. I mean, it has to be decent, but it's more about the size of a streamer you are, the amount of people you can pull into watching the event. Now that we've established that Battlegrounds is for fun really, and the MMR numbers don't matter, why isn't there a hard reset again? When BGs first came out, my thoughts were, okay, this is a new game. There's going to be a lot of trial and errors, finding out what people don't like any new game, right? And since it's still in beta, I thought, okay, let's do this trial process, and eventually they're probably going to have a hard reset, and that would be great for everyone, because I think that's how most games work, right? But it has had the beta tag for more than a year now. I think it's past the 1 year mark by a month. It still has beta on it, and ever since the beginning when it came out, there has been no hard reset. And as time progressed, there have been a couple of things that people in the game have done to abuse certain things in Battlegrounds to get ahead or a higher MMR. The first thing that people abused when Battlegrounds first came out was basically when they found out that the first 20 first place wins gave you a boost of 300 MMR. And what people were doing when this was a thing at the beginning of Battlegrounds is they were all learning the game on their main accounts, and once they understood it better and got good or, you know, decent at the game, they basically would change server or make a brand new account and go back to the low rank and beat up on all those low MMR new players and try and get that hot streak of those 20 first place wins and get that 300 MMR boost all the way to a very high rank, especially at that time, because it was like the beginning of Battlegrounds. And I know this because I have streamer friends who did just that, and they told me about it, and I was like, huh, yeah, it makes sense. But I always thought, well, you know, Battlegrounds is still in beta. It's fine. When I do play it eventually, there's probably going to be a hard reset. I thought wrong. Well, that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I'll tell you all the things that people abused, and that's why I think it should have a hard reset. Blizzard eventually learned that people were abusing this, and they fixed it, and now it is not a thing anymore. Any sort of thing that people can abuse, where making a new account to gain some sort of advantage by this early boost, it's a problem, and I'm really glad that they fixed it. The next thing that people abused with Battlegrounds was the 4-man lobbies in the Battleground ladder. Blizzard said they wanted to try this, they wanted to see it was fun, and honestly, on paper, it does seem like a really fun idea to try, right? And they also said if people abused it, that they would just remove it. And of course, once it was out, people found their way to abuse it. They will do anything to gain an advantage. If there is a way, they will do it. And so with the 4-man lobbies, and I'm sure you guys maybe have, some of you have experienced this already because we're kind of experienced with Battlegrounds already. We understand it very well, and you can sort of tell what a 4-man lobby could do. So what they normally do, in case you didn't know, is they try to guarantee all 4 of them are top 4s. And we all know top 4 means positive points, right? Not the negative points in Battlegrounds. And so when they are faced up against each other, they both level and they make sure they have a very weak board. So that's a huge spike, you know, in strength to be able to level and like have a weak board because you know your opponent's also doing it. And yeah, it just felt horrible if you were queued up in a 4-man lobby. Like, it's not fun at all. The funny thing when this happened was there was a few streamers who decided to go live and test the 4-man lobby out. Well, they knew what it would do, but they wanted to send a message to Blizzard to change it. So there was a reason why they did it, but a lot of people in their chats were angry because in the end of the day, like, to anyone who didn't know about it, it basically was a way, it was kind of like showing them like, hey, this is a way that people can abuse the battleground ladder, and this is what you got to do. And they were kind of showcasing it. There's probably people who did it, casual people who did it off stream. There's probably streamers who did it off stream. Who freaking knows? But yeah, Blizzard basically fixed this, I was told. I was told that if you reach 10k MMR or higher, like, you can't be in 4-man lobbies anymore. What are my thoughts about it? Honestly, I think that 4-man lobbies are pretty bad, and it feels awful that it should, people who are allowed to do 4-man lobbies should be between like 0 to 6,000 MMR. I don't think it should be past 6,000 MMR because it just, there are people who take Battlegrounds seriously who are higher than 6,000, maybe even higher than 5,000, who knows? But I don't know. I think it's just not fair to people who are playing Battlegrounds if there's 4-man lobbies. There's people out there who don't even have they don't even have 4 Battleground friends to do that with, so they already have a disadvantage with that. The third thing that people decided to take advantage of in Battlegrounds actually started in the Chinese servers. And I remember a couple of streamers tweeting about this, and I had no idea what it was about, but since I'm making this video, I had to dive into the details and find out what it was. So I will be posting, since I got all my information from a Reddit thread, I'll be posting that Reddit thread in the description. So what people did, and this spread to other servers, so it started in the Chinese servers and spread to all the other servers, so there's so many people doing it now. Everyone in the Battleground scene knows what they're doing and how they're doing it. What they did was they basically, there was a ranked floor. Battlegrounds made a ranked floor. So what a ranked floor is, in case you don't know, is if you're, let's say, 6,000 MMR or below, every time you lose, you won't get any points taken away from you. You won't get any negative points. It's only positive points all the way up to 6,000. So once they reached 6,000 MMR, what they did was they lost a lot of games so that their internal MMR would be terrible. And then once they were like, okay, this is enough. I don't even know how many times you had to lose to do that. But once it was enough and they knew that they were a really trash internal MMR, they started playing games, and they were basically playing against some of the new players. And I know that in Battlegrounds, you can play with people who are at least a 5k MMR difference from you. I know because when I was 8k, I played with someone who was 14k MMR. So I'm guessing when they were 6k MMR going up, climbing all the way to 15,000 MMR, they were just facing people who were just much lower level, like maybe not even 6k MMR, and they just definitely took advantage of that. And if this was something that Blizzard people didn't know, or the Hearthstone people didn't know, they were later notified. They had to remove the ranked floor because of it. But these people who abused that system basically climbed all the way to 20,000 MMR. This rank has never been reached before, and all they're doing now is just like camping there. And that's kind of why, like, the Battlegrounds community was complaining like, please reset the MMR system already. And yeah, like I said, Blizzard did fix it. They took out the rank floor, and as scheduled, we have our seasonal reset, which is happening now. It was, I think this happened when people started doing this happened in November. Maybe some people out there are like, yes, Blizzard's fixing it right now, finally. No, guys, this is just their seasonal reset. So they're not even resetting it because of like people who abused it. If they wanted to reset it back then, they would have, but they just waited for the schedule reset, you know? It's actually a soft reset. Now that we've discussed all the ways people abused or took advantage of Battlegrounds, and these are the only things that I know, there could be more out there that I just don't know. I was playing Constructed, like I said, like the first 4 to 6 months when Battlegrounds came out, and I was kind of going in and out. So there could be something I missed, who knows. I really think that these are 3 major things that happened. Like hearing those 3 major things already where people took advantage of this to gain MMR boost or gain ahead, you know, they're all like MMR related, right? There has been no hard reset since the beginning of Battlegrounds. So like, to me, it's just mind-blowing because there's so many people out there who took advantage of this in some way or some form, and we just don't know who. Anyways, I want to go back to the tweet, the Hearthstone tweet that I was mentioning at the start of this video. I actually retweeted it, and my retweet actually says, but will it be an actual reset this time though? Or will players get a 300 boost all the way back to their past MMR? Find out soon. XR, Blizzard dev, actually replied underneath it. He answered, sort of both. Players who exploited the system shouldn't get back to their current rating. Players who didn't exploit should go back to their rating, well, their previous MMR. We don't do hard MMR resets to the whole population, but in the future, we're planning on hard resets for everyone above a certain value, like taking everyone above around 10K and hard resetting them all back to 10K. I'll just elaborate in case you didn't really, I'm sure you understood it, but they're not gonna do a hard reset ever, and like their hard reset is just taking someone back to 10K, which is really not a reset at all. It seems weird to me that they won't even do a reset back to like 7K or something. It depends. It really depends what their structure in the future is like, but I still find it weird that there has been no reset ever since all of these things were taken advantage of. Like, to me, it feels like the Battlegrounds ladder is just dirty. It's like filthy to me, and like they've just never cleansed it. Sorry, when I used the word cleansed, I was like reminded of just like a medium coming to like cleanse like the Battlegrounds ladder to get all the bad spirits and voodoo away. So something I like that Ixar did address was he's saying that if you did abuse the system or took advantage of the MMR system in Battlegrounds in any way or form, you will be getting a hard reset of your internal MMR. So that I like, but again, I'm going to say this, we do need a hard reset, and I'm sure everyone is on the same like bandwagon. They feel the same way. People in my community say the same thing. I know streamers who want the same thing. So like, can we just have it? People want it, and there's no reason to have these soft resets for if we're just gonna go back to the same rank that we had. Like, there's absolutely no reason. Like, do they think it's hype that when they have these soft resets, do they think that people are gonna be like, oh yay? If anything, it gives people like this false hope that it is a hard reset, and then people and like all the casual players end up confused and are like find out later like that it wasn't a hard reset, and then they kind of get annoyed or angry. And then like some people in my community even said that they just dropped it completely because they felt so left behind. Like they'll never catch up to all the people who just grind every day. They're getting this like really slow grind and they just stop playing. And I just think if Hearthstone, which is a game that thrives off its casual players because it is also a mobile game as well as a PC game, if casual players are going to be annoyed or angry or not like something that's happening in their game, it's going to be quite bad for Hearthstone. So let's bring back the fun. Let's get a hard reset, like I've been saying. And or, you know, like they want the resets and that's why they're doing it, but they're just, for me, like in my opinion, they're not doing the resets right. What they can do is that they can have us all reset back to 0, but then we all get the same 300 boost up to 6,000 or 8,000, I don't know. And then from then on, we get the 100 MMR per win grind. And all the good people will basically just pass everyone because they're grinding every day anyways compared to the casual players. So they will naturally be ahead. And I'm sure they won't mind because it's a new game for them again. They want this. When I think about the seasonal resets that I had in games like Valorant or Overwatch, I know that Overwatch and Valorant have placements and Battlegrounds doesn't have placements, and I'm not saying Battlegrounds should have placements, but I mean, maybe that might be okay. No, I don't even know how they would do placements, honestly. But a good example is when I started playing Valorant during its beta part, I was put into Iron, which is the lowest rank, and I climbed all the way to Platinum. And when it got out of beta and I did my first placements, I got put into Silver. So I went Iron, Bronze, Silver. So I ended up 2 ranks above what I previously got, because in the placements, I guess it could tell with my, skill rating that I was a better player now because I had played before. And they put me in Silver. And then from Silver, I climbed all the way to Platinum because I was playing with Diamond players and I learned a thing or two. And then my next placements, I actually got put into Gold. So don't you think it would be really stupid if they just put me back every time to Platinum? Because that's what Battlegrounds is doing every time they do a seasonal reset. I get boosted all the way back to what I grinded the previous season. And this is like, it caters or it favors to people who have grinded from the beginning of Battlegrounds. And like I said, I wasn't there for the beginning of Battlegrounds, and I feel bad. And there's other people out there, there's casual players who probably feel bad that they weren't there from the beginning. And it's not like Blizzard ever put a sign up and said, hey guys, here's Battlegrounds, by the way, if you grind this game, you will be rewarded later down the road. There was no sign. We all probably thought there was gonna be a hard reset because it's still in beta, and they've never done it. So yeah, those are my 2 cents, and I know it was a lot to take. There was just so many things to talk about, I just wanna say that I do love Battlegrounds. It's a fun game. All of my ideas and why I do this video is because I want to improve the game, and I'm sure there are people like you guys watching who also want the same thing for Battlegrounds or the game that you love to play. Yeah, I hope that we do get that hard reset, like I said. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but another thing that I would like from Blizzard also is to just be more transparent. If they're gonna tell us some stuff, don't be vague about it. Share the details. We want to see everything and we want to understand everything, because people who are confused just end up getting angry, and we don't want people to be angry. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed everything in this video. Let me know your comments and thoughts below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you guys want a soft reset like what's been happening so far, or do you guys also want a hard reset? Maybe there's something in this video that you just found out that you didn't even know. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And also, don't forget to leave a like. The like goes a long way. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye!